everyone and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be reviewing the I Heart Revolution Unicorn Heart palette. So first of all, I'm going to be swatching all of the really gorgeous shades in this palette, and then I'm going to be showing you how to create this really easy purple, kind of spacey, galactic themed eyeshadow look. I hope that you enjoy. So first up, I'm going to get all 12 shades in the I Heart Revolution Unicorn Heart palette swatch. So the only thing that's a bit disappointing is that they don't actually have any names for these shades. So I will just swatch this top row here, and then I will just swatch the bottom row. So they're the first 6 shades swatched. So it's quite hard to swatch that first one because it is quite similar to my skin tone, but it's almost like an ivory matte shade with a silver glitter shift in it. Underneath that is a really lovely lilac shade with a lovely gorgeous glitter shift as well. There's this like dusty pink matte shade which is absolutely gorgeous. There is this shade here which is a slightly darker purple that's almost got that like galactic shift in it as well. We've got this kind of like ice white shimmer with a pink glitter running through it, which is absolutely stunning. And then there is just this kind of random brown matte shade at the end of that top row. So that was just those first 6 shades swatched there, and I'll go ahead and swatch the next 6. And that is the second row of shades swatched. So a very different colour story to the top row, and quite different actually to the eyeshadow look that I've created. So starting at the top is this really lovely baby pink metallic shade. Underneath that is like a dark purple, almost looks matte on my arm, but actually in the pan and on the eye, it does come across a lot more metallic. Underneath that is the most gorgeous glittery bronze shade. That shade is so buttery and just vivid and gorgeous. Underneath that is a really lovely kind of almost like an oil grey blue metallic. There's this darker pink matte shade, and then lastly is this really stunning, again super buttery and super vivid and pigmented silver metallic that's also got a bit of a blue silver glitter shift in it. So I think that some of the shades in this palette actually rival some of the metallics and shimmers that you'd expect to find in a Colourpop palette that would be not like tons more expensive, but would be more expensive than this palette. So that was all of those really gorgeous shades swatched. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create this really quite easy, quite simple, purple, spacey, galactic eyeshadow look. So here I am with the rest of my base makeup done, ready to do that really lovely purpley, almost like galactic themed eyeshadow look with the I Heart Revolution Unicorn Hearts palette. So it is very, very shiny, and that of course is all of the shades in here. So you would have seen them swatched by now, and I'm going to be mainly focusing on these purple shades here. So the first shade I'm going to be using is this one here, and I really wish they had names, but they don't. But going in for this one, and I've got quite a good sized fluffy brush just so I can get this all placed on the outer part of my eye. I do also wish there was a mirror in this palette, but despite that, it is still one of my favourite palettes. So just getting this really lovely purple shade laid down. It has got a really gorgeous shift in it as well, that again, you probably would have seen from the swatches. These shades are so pigmented, and I do only own, I think, 2 I Heart Revolution palettes. I've got this one and I've got the Angel Hearts palette. This one's definitely my favourite. I do prefer the colour story in this one to the other one, but I just find that there's just something about the formula in this and the shades is just absolutely fantastic. So nice little sparkly shift there, and I think nice and happy with that placement. So now I'm super happy with the placement of that first shade. I'm going to be going in next with this darker purple shade. So it has still got a bit of shimmer to this, but not quite so much as the first shade that I used. So I'm just going to use the same brush and just get that laid down kind of on this outer part and then into my crease just to add some depth. This is another really gorgeous shade. Really highly pigmented. Considering this is like a fairly inexpensive, it's a really inexpensive palette, when I first used this the first few times, was just absolutely shocked at the quality of the shades. I'm not saying you should like judge a book by its cover, or just because something's cheaper it's not as good, but I really was shocked at how fantastic this palette actually was. You can see just got a little bit of depth and something compared to this side, which I think just adds to the overall look. And I'm going to go ahead and get the other eye done. And there is that darker shade down on both eyes. Next up, I'm going to be going in with this more matte lilac-y shade just to do the inner part of my eyes. And then lastly, I'm going to top that with this really shimmery kind of lilac. I suppose this one's more like a dusty pink and this one's more like a lilac shimmer, but going in first with that nice dusty pink shade just all on the inner part of my eye. I suppose it does actually look a bit more lilac on the eye than it does in the actual palette, but nonetheless it is another really pretty shade. So just blend that nicely into the other shade. It's quite a similar tone, so very easy to blend. In fact, all of these shades are pretty easy to blend. And then just this eye as well. So now I've got that shade down, I'm going to be going in lastly with this one here, just over that shade again on the inner part of my eye, just to add a bit of sparkle. So this shade as well has got a really pretty shift to it and just has a real nice sparkle in it that hopefully you can see that picking up on the camera. I just think it's another really gorgeous shade again. So I'm gonna pop that all over the inner part of my eye, and then of course the same on this eye. You do get a bit of fallout from the shades in this palette, but a lot of them are very sparkly and shimmery, which I would kind of expect, but I feel like I never really get a lot of fallout on my face, which is a good thing. And there is the entirety of my upper part of my eyeshadow look done. So very, I think, galactic space vibes going on with all of these really gorgeous purples and lilacs. So just to my under eye, I'm going back in with this darker purple shade just on the outer part of my eye. And then on the inner part of my eye, I'm going to be going back in with that first shade that I used just to complement, obviously, the upper part of the look. So this is that darker shade first of all, and getting a bit more fallout from this now. It is still quite a sparkly shade, so I do kind of expect that I'm going to end up with bits of glitter and sparkle all over my face. I just thought it's easier to just sort it all out afterwards. And then just the same on this eye with that dark purple. And then lastly, just back in with that first shade that I used. This one's definitely got that galactic shift in it, that kind of lilac-y and blue shift, I think is absolutely stunning. So there is the eyeshadow part all completed, and this is definitely one of my go-to eyeshadow looks and combinations with this palette. But of course it's not quite finished. I just need to do my eyeliner and my mascara and also my lipstick. So my go-to for this look is just to do a black eyeliner in my waterline. Sometimes I do like to do a black liquid liner, but I'm just going to stick to black pencil in my waterline, and I have got my trusty black eyeliner pencil from Primark. And then for my mascara, just using a black mascara, and I've got my Maybelline Sky High mascara. And then just on with the mascara. You could obviously put on a pair of false lashes if you wished. And as I said, if you wanted to do like a liquid liner, then you could do that as well, which I do sometimes do with this look, but today I just fancied keeping it a bit more simple and just doing the eyeliner in my waterline. So I really do love the contrast now of the purple eyeshadow with the obviously black eyeliner and the black mascara. I'm going to be using my favourite lipstick to use whenever I create this look, and I'm using the Jeffree Star Velour liquid lipstick in the shade Scorpio. Obviously you could use any lipstick, lip gloss or whatever you fancied if you did recreate this look. And there we have the entire look completed. So I will just give you a close-up of my eyeshadow so you can see that in a bit more detail. So I really love this purple spacey galactic eyeshadow look just using the I Heart Revolution Unicorn Hearts palette. It's definitely my go-to look whenever I use this palette, and I really do love this palette a lot. So there is another little look at the shades. If there's any other looks that you would like to see me create using any of the other shades in this palette, then definitely let me know. Or if there's any particular I Heart Revolution palettes that you really love that you could recommend to me, I'd really love to know. But ever since I started using this palette, I've just been overwhelmed at how fantastic the formula is, how pretty the shades are. You do sometimes get quite a bit of fallout because there is quite a lot of shimmer and metallic in those shades, but I do find that the overall performance of the shades are absolutely fantastic. So it just goes to show you don't need to spend an absolute fortune on a palette to get good quality shades and to be able to create really lovely easy looks. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give the video a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, and if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you again in my next video.